Hi, friends. Welcome to the Mastermind Moments podcast.
Hosted by your pals, Josh and Sasha.
Join us during our weekly mastermind as we collaborate on how to make the most out of our lives.
Not only are we going to mastermind our careers, we're going to work on all areas of life together.
Let's do it. Listen in as we make the most of our mastermind moments. Hello, how are you?
First thing Josh says to me, I'm taking a sip of my drink, and he's, what are you drinking right now?
I think I'm so unused to you drinking alcohol because of last year that I automatically assumed it was like orange juice or something. Just slightly orange. And then I saw it was in a wine glass. I thought, okay, maybe it's something alcoholic, but she's not a big drinker, but I know that's changed a bit this year.
Yeah, it's gin. It's gin and like sparkling water. So this is the first Mastermind Moments where I'm sipping on a little cocktail because it's late Friday night and this is my starting to sign
why
off.
not?
But why not? It's also just, we're
Maybe
just here.
let
We're
loose a
here.
little. Yeah, completely.
We'll see how this episode goes. Maybe it'll be more entertaining.
Maybe. No, I think it's okay to have a drink. Actually, alcohol makes people open up more. As if you need alcohol to open up to me anyway, but it
Right.
could be interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're the one person I'm like, there's a lot of people I don't need alcohol to open up to, but as if I need alcohol to tell you anything that's
You don't
happening in my
need
life.
removal of a filter.
No. Sometimes I need the additional filter. That was the other thing too. It was like when I stopped drinking last year, one thing I really enjoyed was I never woke up and felt like I said stupid shit the night before.
Yeah, I hear you. That's an interesting topic actually, because I've woken up before and felt like I've said stupid shit, but I've also more often than not, actually, more often than the waking up and feeling like I said stupid shit, it's more being a case of I wake up and I'm like, people just didn't like me last night. And I'm just so scared that not that I said stupid shit, but that people didn't like my personality when I was drunk. So yeah, it's an irrational fear because actually every time I go partying, people say I'm the life of the party and that they love me and I'm a fun drunk.
Yeah, you are a fun drunk. It's true. There's a line for me where I'm perfectly fun, just sober, and I'm perfectly fun, like stoned and fun drunk. But there's a line where I know if I'm getting overly sentimental with the people I'm around, I've had too much. And then if I already am a very honest person, but if you add alcohol into the mix, my filter is non-existent. So I can say some really dumb shit. Like stuff that I regret saying the next day where I'm like, ooh, I should not have
Really?
said that thing to that person. Yeah. And that was the thing I really enjoyed about being California sober, where I wasn't drinking at all, where I did not experience that when I was stoned. Like I'd wake up and be like, oh, I said some profound shit last night. Like some of it was silly, some of it was profound. And you've gotten the 20-minute voice messages about random stuff where sometimes I said really profound things and sometimes I said the dumbest things, but nothing stupid where I was like, oh, I regret telling
I
that.
think you would say profound shit every time. There was never silly, irrational stuff. But sometimes it would be waffled over the course of 20 minutes and you'd have to deep to actually find the profound things, but they were in there somewhere. You just had to listen for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes I added in sponsors with whenever I was
Sometimes, every time.
drinking or whatever I was doing. Every time, yeah. I had a theme song. It's just a good time. Before we get into it, let's spin a wheel. It's family. How do you support personal growth and development of your family members? What are your thoughts?
I think communication, I guess, is the biggest thing. I think the only person I've really supported in any kind of aspect like that is my little sister, my younger sister, because my parents got divorced when she was very young. And my dad has said this before, my mum has said it, and she won't admit it, but it's true that I stepped into the father figure role. And I was only a teenager, but I've always been almost like a dad to her more than a brother because I was the only male in the household. So throughout the years, I've been very good at communicating with her. And if she's having a bad day, getting her to calm down and coaching her through it. I think actually, if I may say so myself, I'm a very good brother. In many ways, I was a fucking terrible, I won't say terrible person because that feels very self-deprecating, but I was not.
You're a
I
terrible
was a terrible
son.
son. I was a terrible, I don't know what you want to call it, but I was not fun to be around for my family when I was a teenager. And even throughout my 20s, for a large part of my 20s, I wasn't fun to be around. And my sister, I think she saw that, and it always scared me that she would see that and be traumatized from it. But actually, I think I made such an extra effort with her, and always have, that I'm now in a place where, or she's now in a place where she's actually doing much, much better than me at that age from an academic perspective. She's just moved up to university a couple of weeks ago, and she seems to be thriving. And it took me much longer than that to get to that point.
Wait, h- h- how did her South America
She
trip go?
loved it. She had a great time. Yeah, she was on an organized tour for about, I think it was like 60 days, so 2 months. And yeah, she had the fucking time of her life.
I know, because you were worried about
I
it,
was,
but it ended up
yeah,
being
yeah, I
fine.
was worried about it. I think I was worried for different reasons. Just worried that she was going to have a bad group or that she just wasn't going to have fun or exert herself. But um, Cheska is the life of the party, actually. She's really become a very impressive young woman. And it's all down to me, clearly. It's all down to my fathering, brothering skills. I will take full credit for that. But so my sister is the only person I've really stepped into. Actually, recently, my little cousin as well. He's recently stepped into a place where he's not doing too well, and he's started taking antidepressants. And my aunt is not happy about it at all, and she knows that I have a history with antidepressants and depression. So she asked me to get involved, and so I've been texting him and communicating with him. And so I think just constant and loving communication is my answer to that.
Yeah. My answer is
Yeah.
I don't get involved in my family's personal development at all. I think the only thing, like, yes, communication, but I think a lot of times for me that looks like calling my family out on their shit, as I do with most people. I sometimes I see gaps in what's happening based on where I know that person wants to be and what's actually happening in their lives, and I've learned to ask permission first to be like, "Do you really want my perspective on this?" And then I'll call them out on their shit. But the truth is beyond that, I don't really support my family in in their development at all, because I feel like people will only change when they want to and when they're ready to, and you can encourage them as much as you want. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And I just don't want to waste my time and energy on encouraging someone to do something with their lives that they're just not ready to do yet. Like, when they are ready to do something, they will either come to me for support, or they will go out seek out their own resources. But I don't know. I feel like I'm in a situation with my family, with a lot of family members, where I see them and I see that they're unhappy in their lives and they keep complaining about the same shit over and over again for years and years. And I tell them the straight up solution, like, hey, you could do XYZ, but they're not going to do it until they're ready. They're not going to change until they're ready. And it's just, I don't want to waste my breath and energy on it when it's not going to be taken. Like, it's just not worth it. So for me, I feel like the best way to support my family and their development is to just do my own thing. Like, I'm going to walk the walk. I'm going to pursue my own development, my own evolution. And if they feel inspired by that, great. And if they want to change their own lives and want my support in that, they know where I am, great. But I'm not going out and like doing that. Like, I'm not going out and encouraging them, because I just know it's sometimes wasted
Yeah, that's
energy.
totally fair. That's totally fair. And I think I've probably felt that way a lot with my family or certain members of my family anyway, just to take the back seat and focus on myself in many ways. And I've done that successfully throughout my 20s. Whereas on the flip side, Bella, my other sister, she is, again, it feels mean to say, but she's not a people pleaser, but she goes the extra mile for everyone, no matter who you are, for everyone. And I think it really takes its toll on her. My mum went through the divorce and went through a really horrible breakup as well with one of her partners after the divorce. And Bella was a little teenager, like she was really young, but she stepped into this role with my mum where she was basically my mum's therapist, and my mum lent on her for fucking everything. And I think genuinely, and I hated it, and I fell out with both of them over it so much because Bella didn't quite understand. I could see it from an outsider's perspective. My mum basically told me to fuck off. Um, but it skewed Bella's views of relationships massively, I think. And I think
Mm.
she would probably say the same thing for a long time until she found her current boyfriend who's very good for her. I think it skewed her view of relationships massively. And so, yeah, actually, it's not our role to do that. And I think I saw that growing up, and that's why I've never really stepped into that role as much as I probably could have, except for my sister.
Yeah, yeah. I also don't have younger siblings. So for
Yeah.
me, it's different. I say like my immediate family would be my parents, my aunt, who I consider a third parent, and then my like quote older sister, which I don't know if I've talked about on this pod. I know you know who she is, but for anyone who wants context, I'm a biological only child, but my childhood babysitter was brought into our family as chosen family. She spends every holiday with my family. She travels with my family. I was a maid of honor in her wedding. I'm the executor of her will. She and my mom drive each other to surgery. Like, she has a room at her house. Like, she is family. And I say, like, that's my immediate family, these 4 people. And my parents, like, they have a lot of issues, and both of them, I think, are unhappy in different aspects of their lives, and they just continue to choose to live in that. And same thing with my aunt and my sister as well. I think out of all of them, my sister is the one who's more keen and more inclined towards personal development. And whenever she comes to me asking me my advice, I give it to her openly. But we've learned that in our relationship, she'll come to me and she'll be like, listen, I just need to vent. I just need to rant. Like, I know I'm not looking for a solution here. Or she'll come to me and she'll be like, what do I do? How do I grow from this? How do I learn from this? And it's like learning how to differentiate between the two. Like, sometimes you just need to be there as support and lend an ear. And then sometimes if someone wants advice from me, they're going to ask. But I won't give it out
No,
because if they're not seeking development, like, why?
exactly. Yeah. Okay. So you don't go the extra mile, but if they come to you, then you will. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If they come to me, I'll give a motivational speech until my face is blue. Like, I can speak in bumper stickers, like, I can do it. But I just think the best thing is just for me to walk the walk and for me to lead by example. And if they feel so inclined to do that in their own lives, amazing. But if not, like, that's not my responsibility to take on. Because I think I've also just wasted so much. I think I've wasted so much energy and time hoping that my family members will change or get better or choose better for their own lives, and then they just don't. And after so many years and decades of hoping that they improve their lives and take steps to improve their lives, and just knowing that they're not going to until they're ready, it's just not worth my energy, because as much as I can hope that they're going to get better, like, sometimes they're just not.
No, no, exactly. But that's also not on you. You can hope and love them from a distance, but it shouldn't be on you to push them to make that change or to make that shift. As I say, I learned this very early on with seeing how my mum was with my sister and how that's impacted her actually long term, very much until the last couple of years. Um, if someone wants to change, they will change and can change. We all have it within us. We don't need a family member to push us into it. And if you need someone to help you, if you need someone to push you, get a life coach, get a therapist. So, yeah, I'm a believer in that as well.
Absolutely. So, getting to the meat of the episode, how's your week been? What's been going on? Tell me. We haven't had a chat since we recorded with Lauren last week. So, what's been up?
3 days ago.
Wait, was that three?
It
That was not
was. It
three
was on
days ago, was it?
Tuesday. Yeah. when you started
Oh my
saying
God.
we haven't had a chat since, and I'm like, we spoke 3 days ago, and then about a week ago. But then,
Wait,
yeah,
for me, it feels like a longer time because I've also moved
of course.
locations, so
Where
it
are you
feels
now?
longer to me. I'm in
Okay,
Phuket right
okay.
now.
And
I cannot believe you came to Thailand and only went to
I know,
Bangkok.
I know everyone says this, but I chose Vietnam. I chose quality time in Vietnam over Thailand, and then my plan is to go back and do Thailand properly, just like one trip and just Thailand. Um, so yeah, I am very jealous of your trip at the moment. How was Chiang Mai?
Chiang Mai was amazing. Honestly, each leg of the Thailand trip has gotten better and better. Like I enjoyed Bangkok, but it was like fine. It was a really cool city, and there were things I loved about. There are things I loved about each spot in Thailand, but each leg has gotten better. So I enjoyed Bangkok, but I really like Chiang Mai. I'm really loving Phuket. I'm like learning. It's really interesting to be traveling and to be present with, okay, what parts of each place do I like and dislike, just to be present with and just to understand for where I want to move moving forward. But one thing I've clearly come to know is I am a water baby. I need to be near a body of water. If it's the ocean or a pool or a lake or something, I'm just happy by the water. That's my gig. So I'm like loving Phuket today. I did a little boat tour situation. My friend is here with me from Tony Robbins, but not through Gills. She's through Life and Wealth, like the Fiji event that I did. So she's here with me, but she leaves tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to more solo time. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But I'm really enjoying it. And I go to Japan in a couple of, I think, must be like 4 or 5 days at this
Okay.
point. But something
Wow.
like that. I
Nice.
don't know. I'm moving a
Yeah.
lot again.
And
It's a
how do
lot.
you feel about
Yeah.
that? How are you coping since we last spoke properly about this with kind of the workload and that kind of thing?
It's a little overwhelming right now, truthfully. Like balancing, and this is something we talked about previously, and this is something we've been talking about all year, is like balancing my responsibilities between my 9 to 5 job, my business, traveling full time, and my admin. It's been really difficult. And in Chiang Mai, because I did the whole thing solo, I did work a lot. I worked a lot. I didn't go out at night by myself. I worked a ton and I really enjoyed that. And I'm realizing how much I'm enjoying working. Like I'm liking spending my time and getting through my list. And last Friday, so a week ago from today, I think I worked from 9 a.m. until midnight with maybe 2 hours in there as a break. I think I went to the gym. I think I got caffeine. I think I went to the gym and had like maybe an hour of pool time. And then other than that, like I was just working and I really enjoyed it. Like I really enjoyed like spending quality time working on my craft, working on my job, working on the business. But I am finding it difficult to manage right now just with everything, and especially like being in the Asia leg. I want to be so present with my travels. I want to be so present because going to all of these new places. And it's a little different from the Paris leg where I was in one place. I didn't feel pressure to go see it because I've lived there before. This is very different. I do feel pressure that if
Cool.
every day I'm not going and doing something, I'm like, I'm wasting my time in Asia.
You
Yeah.
get, yeah, it's completely understandable. As you said, Paris before. Paris, you don't need to go and see everything again. You were just living there this time. You were experiencing it this time.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a much more fast-paced leg of the trip, and I think it always was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was going to be, yeah. Yeah. I think so. And then the beginning of this leg too was also very similar. Like the Australia, New Zealand legs of this trip were very similar in that same way where I was seeing things every day and trying to take advantage of my time. It's a little different this time though because this is Q4. It's my busy season at work and things are ramping up at work right now. So I have this huge project at work that's honestly has been spiking some feelings of anxiety because I've been working on this project for more than a year at this point and we're basically ready to launch. It's like my project, my baby, and it's every time I feel like I'm getting close to being done, it feels like it's a million miles away. And today I finally got around to testing some things. So hopefully early next week, things will be settled. But just in general, it's a little bit difficult to manage everything. And yes, I feel stress around it, and I do feel overwhelmed and some feelings of anxiety around getting everything done, but it's also, I know the necessary shit's gonna get done. I know it's gonna get done. So I'm getting a little bit better at feeling okay with that, where it's, yeah, my to-do list is super long and there's stuff I need to do for our podcast. I need to figure out why the hell our calendar is not working properly and do that. I'm like, I'll do it. It'll get done at some point. It's fine.
But does that feel acceptable to you in your mind? Like, does you feel guilty about that?
Sometimes. It's just I know my capabilities and I know when I say I'm going to do something, it's going to get done. But I think I'm coming to terms with accepting the fact that it's not going to all happen right now. It's not all going to happen today. It's not all going to happen this weekend. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen before it needs to happen, but it's not going to happen immediately. And as someone who's a type A like person where it's, I want this done right now, like being okay with maybe this is like where type B Sasha comes into play, where it's, yeah, it's going to get done, but it's not going to be right now, and that's okay. Like right now, you're going to get on a boat and you're going to go see fucking Thailand. And then
Yeah. Again, I feel like
Yeah.
it comes back to the conversation we had a couple of weeks ago about how you're not going to look back on this year and regret going to see shit in Thailand. You're not going to, and also when you go and see the stuff in Thailand and you look back on this trip, you're not going to necessarily think about, shit, I really should have done more work, because that's what this year is about, as it is having fun and experiencing things. So I think you're stepping into the right mindset for sure. And I know that's hard, especially as someone who works as much and as hard as you do, and who is as driven as you are. But I think you're on the right line for sure.
Yeah, it's feeling like a more healthy balance, like that. These to-do lists. It's funny that I've been doing this for 9 months. Tomorrow is 9 months officially since I've been in transit. And it's interesting that I've been doing this for 9 months, and these to-do lists have never gone away. Like they've always been here this entire time. Even before I left, like they were really ridiculously long because I was moving and ending out like closing a lot of logistics with my ex about everything, and there was a lot of things happening back then. So my lists have been going for a long time. And I think now it's, am I learning the lesson and am I finally healing through, yeah, the lists are always going to be there. But I trust myself enough to know that I will get the stuff done no matter what before it needs to happen. But it doesn't need to happen right this second. Like it's okay to be present in what you're doing. It's okay to enjoy what you're doing right now. And knowing that like I trust myself enough to know that everything will get done before it's supposed to. And that's okay.
Amen. Amen. And it sounds
So,
like you're in the right headspace in that regard. So I'm glad to hear it, because it sounds very different to the way you were talking even a couple of weeks ago, or have been talking on and off throughout the year. So I'm glad to hear it. And how is everything else going? Is there anything? Well, it sounds like that's going fairly well and you're enjoying yourself, but what else is going on?
Yeah, overwhelming is there about the career stuff. I did spend some time in reflection this past week. I know it's something we talked about me doing. I did spend some time in reflection this week about where I want to take my career, and I'm feeling really excited about all of those things. And then also the same thing where it's okay, like I've gotten clear about what I want in my career. These things that I want are, I'm clear about it and I know the next steps, but these next steps are not going to happen right now. Like these next steps are going to happen when I've stopped my travel, when I'm in my room and it's dark out and cold and I can't go outside and I have a cast on my face because I'm getting my nose done and I'm just working and I'm just doing my thing. And I'm like, that's okay. It's okay to put it off, but at least now I feel very clear about what I want and where I'm going. And that feels really exciting. My personal growth, I have to admit something I'm very ashamed of right now.
Okay. Talk to me.
I lost my Duolingo streak.
No. How?
Yeah.
Why? That's heartbreaking.
I know. Burning Man. Burning Man fucked
Shit,
it up.
Of course. Pre-planned.
And then I
For that,
was...
did you see that coming?
I thought of it the day before and then had so much to do. I just was like, I'll figure it out. I'll email customer service after and then have them reinstate it. And then my phone got stolen.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it?
And I did. Yeah. So I've emailed customer service and be like, can you reinstate my streak? But
they do that? Is that a
they
thing?
haven't. They've done it once for me before, and yeah, this time they did not, and it's been, like, almost a month since it's been, like, 30 something days since it's been because it's been
Okay.
Burning Man, and it
So it
was a
doesn't
month
look
ago.
like it's happening then.
It doesn't look like it's happening, so it was and I feel honestly so discouraged to start up again because that was, like it's correlated to your
Mm.
gambling-free streak, which is
I should relapse
years of
now.
work.
It's your fault.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? My God, I would but I feel really disappointed in myself about it, and I'm still practicing French here and there. I met, like, a French group of people, like, out on a tour, so I got to chat with them, and that felt really good to practice my French. I'm still chatting with Monsieur 66, which, by the way, there's an
Okay.
update. I got a text, like, an hour
Okay.
ago, or maybe an hour and a half ago. He's coming to Asia. Yeah. I don't know yet. I don't know. He said basically, I gave him a deadline because he's a very type B guy. I gave him a deadline. I was like, "Listen, Monsieur 66, like, I need to plan out my things. If you're coming, you need to let me know before
Mm.
October 1st." And it's right now, at the time of this recording, we have a couple days. We have 4 or 5 days before October. And he texted me today and he's, okay, it's almost the 1st of October. So September 30th, we need to figure all of this out. I was like, we don't need to wait until the last day. But basically, yeah, he's told me, like, we need to sit down and figure out when we're seeing each other. And I was like, oh, it's happening. Like, it's happening. I was feeling really uncertain about where things stood with him and about romance in general. And the advice you gave me was just embrace the uncertainty. It's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. And I've been, like, really leaning into that this week, like, very consciously being like, flow, don't force, flow, don't force. It's okay. Just let it go. And feeling much better about it. And also just, like, focusing more on myself and thinking, I'm the coolest motherfucker out here. Like, I love my life. I'm so happy. I've, like, very much fallen in love with myself and fallen in love with my life and where it's going. And I feel just happy in my own skin and, like, happy in my own life. And focusing on that really helped alleviate a lot of the stress and pressure that I was putting on my external relationships, because it's like, if I feel good within myself, like,
Mm.
who cares? Who
Oh,
cares? Truthfully. But it does feel very exciting that he is coming to visit, and again, it's only been, like, an hour and a half since I've gotten this news, and we don't have any specifics yet, but I do feel really happy that I haven't jumped to any sort of conclusions about what this might mean for the future of a relationship. So far, I'm just like, "Oh, this is exciting, cool, fun." I'm, like, looking forward to figuring this out.
good. Okay. Yeah. And
So
so I
that's
hope you can
happening.
stick with that mindset as well. Just let it happen.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really hope so too. What else? I've been working out, been feeling really good in my own skin, in my own body. Mental health has been good. I've been meditating, not every day, but most days. When I'm solo, it's every day, but with friends, sometimes, like this morning, I was meditated, whatever. That's, like, generally what's happening right now. But I do hope that as far as romance goes, I will just. Oh, here's another update. I've had to talk to my ex a couple times.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this week. I've had to talk to him a couple times this week for logistics because with my name still in the apartment, it's coming up on that 60-day notice
I
with our
see.
apartment, and the building was very confused about the situation, so they were reaching out to me and they were confused about it, so I had to reach out to him and be like, "The building is telling me you're moving out, like, right now. What's happening?" Because that would screw me over massively, what's going on, and we just had to go back logistically a couple times about things, and the conversations have always been they're over text, and they've been very polite and very professional. The thing that feels really nice about that is that it doesn't impact me, and I don't feel impacted by this emotionally in any way, shape, or
Good.
form.
Like at all?
Yeah. I feel so like, initially, it was because when I got that call from the building, I was, like, feeling pretty nervous about it. I was like, "Oh my god, what's happening? What's my legal address gonna be if he's leaving right now?" But then as I texted him, I was like, "Can you give me a little bit of clarity on the situation? What's going on?" And as soon as he gave me clarity and we went back and forth on the logistics, as soon as I just got some information about what was happening, I felt totally fine. But it wasn't about my communication with him. It was more about, like, the situation, about the uncertainty about what I needed to do. But as far as communicating with him, I haven't I don't feel any
Yeah.
type of way about it
Good.
at all.
Okay. That's very
Yeah.
positive. It's been 9 months. You've been through a lot in those 9 months and a lot of processing as well, a huge amount of processing, and not just through the breakup, but
Mhm.
through other situations and situationships. And You've come a huge, long way since the breakup, and this shows it. This shows the progress, so you should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on all of that? I know I just like word vomited like a bunch of random stuff. It's crazy that we talked like 3
Yeah,
days
yeah,
ago
yeah.
and there's been enough to actually
Well, I
talk
mean,
about.
in terms of everything or in terms of the X stuff?
I don't
In
know,
terms
all
of
of it.
everything,
Things that stand out,
yeah, in
things that
terms of
don't.
everything, it all sounds like good. It sounds like you're in a really good place. And it's funny because when I was looking at the wheel, I loaded it up before this call, before jumping on with you, because I was like, I don't know what to talk about. I have nothing really to talk about to mastermind in my life at the moment because my wheel feels very rounded for the most part right now. And I'd have to really nitpick things to not complain about, but say that they're negative and need masterminding. So it sounds like you're in a similar position, actually, in many ways.
Minus the
Minus the
Duolingo.
Duolingo, which is tragic. Savita just started a Duolingo streak a few weeks ago. So I won't tell her that because it would discourage her because I think she was probably motivated by your streak. I think everyone was. Everyone who knows you is motivated by the streak. So you're letting a whole team down, unfortunately. But for good
Yeah,
reason.
it was like 1,300
1300
days.
is crazy. Yeah, because that's how
It was
long
like something like that.
I've been clean for, which is it's about 1350 or that's something now, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, they were within a couple weeks of each other.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's sad. But otherwise, I guess that has an in wheel, except for if you added like a language section. But also with the Duolingo streak lost, you've also spent 2 months in France perfecting the language. So you don't need Duolingo. It's just something to have a bit of fun, a bit of pride.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all sounds like you're enjoying yourself and that you're in the right headspace, which is great to hear because I know that's really something you've struggled to balance in terms of where your head should be while you're traveling, while you're in a situationship or a fling or whatever you want to call it. So it sounds like you, again, I feel like if this scenario had happened 6 months ago with a different guy or with the same guy, you wouldn't be talking like you are now and you wouldn't be as calm and composed and you'd be thinking about what that looks like in the future. And so yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. I'm glad to hear that you're on the right track.
Yeah, I do. It's crazy to think about how different I feel now compared to a couple of months ago. I saw Katie in March with our friend Valeria, and then I saw her again recently. Must have been a week or two ago. Honestly, time feels crazy to me. Like I think I've been in Thailand less than 10 days. No, a little over 10 days. Yeah. It's like maybe I saw her like 10 days ago or 2 weeks ago at this point. And she said it to me. She's the difference in your energy and the difference in how you're showing up, like from March till now, only 6 months apart or something, is actually crazy. And I feel like a different person. I feel like each time I've moved locations, I've also evolved in some sort of way and I've learned the lessons and I feel like I've grown so much. And I'm only like 9 months into traveling full time, 10 months into the breakup. And I like feel the difference, which is pretty crazy. And not to say that I don't still fall back to old patterns, right? Like I still fall back to old patterns with my stress management and with my jumping to futuristic like things with boys and things like that. It's not to say I don't still fall back into old patterns, but I think I'm way more aware of it now. And having to actively catch myself and be like, oh, no, don't do that. That's not cute. Stop, knock that shit off.
Yeah. Excuse me. I can see a very noticeable difference. We talk almost every week, sometimes twice a week these days. And so it's more subtle to me because I've seen it incrementally over the last 6, 9 months. But yeah, the difference is very noticeable. That's why I commented on how it sounds like you're in such a good place at the moment or a better place, the right place, and on the right track. And of course, as human beings, we're going to slip up sometimes. As human beings, we're not always going to be in the perfect mood, perfect headspace. There are going to be times where we fall back down, but as long as you're generally on the right track, you're fine.
Yeah, there are bits and there are curves. It's like a stock chart. It goes up and down, but as long as the general trend is generally up, that's fine. There are going to be ebbs and flows and ups and downs, and that's life. That's absolutely life, and that's okay, and I'm just here for the ride, really, and it's actually I would compare it to noticing changes mentally is almost like weight loss or weight gain sometimes, where you lose a lot of weight, and if you don't see someone for a long time, they notice it right away. They say, "Oh, wow, you've
Yeah.
lost so much weight."
Yeah.
Versus someone who sees you maybe
Mm.
every day or once a week, and incrementally you see the change after a couple of months, but not as drastically. And then also like me as a person, I am typically the last person to see it because I see myself all the time. And I think it's the same way with my mental development and my like psychological development as well, is that I think it was so interesting to watch Katie be like, wow, your energy and just the way you're talking, the way you're acting is so different in just 6 months compared to where you were. So it's interesting to see, and I can feel it. Like I think after 9 months now, at this point, I can see it and I can feel it. And I think I'd say the same thing with weight loss too. Like after a certain amount of time, you're like, oh wow, like I see the difference in the mirror. And I feel that way truthfully. Like I don't think I've ever loved myself and loved who I am in my life as much as I do right now, ever. Which is pretty cool. Like I'm looking in the mirror, Josh, I kid you not. And yesterday and today, I've said out loud in the mirror, and I'm like, who gave me the right to be this hot? Who gave me the fucking right? Excuse me? And I'm like hyping myself up in the mirror, and not because I'm trying to, just because I feel that way. You know what I mean? I'm like, when
Hell
did
yeah.
this start happening? What? Like, when did this confidence come? Okay, cool. I'm into it. Amazing. So, yeah, it's been awesome. And I'm like super
Good.
into this.
Good. Keep it going. That's such a
That's
nice
right.
place to be in, where you're that confident and you feel like you love yourself that much. Some people never get there. Some people never get there.
Yeah.
And it takes people a
Yeah.
long time to get to that point. And you went through a very difficult event, very difficult life event that I think some of us wish we never had to go through. It's horrible. And you have taken the right path. You've made the right choices. You've grieved in the right way. There's no right way to grieve, of course, but you have followed a positive process and you've trusted in the process, and it's led you, I feel, to where you are now, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy about where I've been and where I'm going, and it feels great. But anyway, moving on. What's happening with you? Tell me what's going on since
It's
the
like
last
3
time we
days
had a
ago.
chat forever ago.
Yeah, so as I said, I feel fairly balanced at the moment. I got my assessment done for the DBT
Okay.
BPD therapy this week, which was interesting. It wasn't really an assessment, and I said to Savita afterwards, I was like, that was more of a sales call than an assessment, because it was like private psychiatry, and they were just selling the service to me and explaining how it worked. And they asked me a few questions about my background, but it didn't feel like an assessment at all. So I'm going to do it. I just have to decide. They have two options, whether to do group or solo therapy. And the group therapy is significantly cheaper. They're both pretty expensive, but the group therapy, yeah, is much cheaper. Obviously, I won't get the tailored sort of approach, the attention that maybe I need. So I'm debating, and I'm going to decide over the weekend what I want to do.
What are you debating about, like, specifically? Like pros and cons, like how do you feel about it?
Pros of group therapy is it's significantly cheaper. That's about it. The pros of the solo therapy are much more, but it's so much more expensive. But then is it going to be, it's a 36-week course. I'd have to do pretty much an hour every week of these calls. And after that, I've spent a lot of money, but hopefully I would be cured. Or cured is a bit of a stretch, but I would be feeling better and have the tools to control things. So it's something to consider. As I said, I need a couple of days to just write down the pros and cons, I think is the best thing to do. And I feel like the ultimate conclusion will be a solo session, but I don't want to rush into it. I want to make sure I make the right choice. So that's that, and that's positive steps. I've been feeling good. I haven't had any blow ups this week. In fact, since last week, I've been in a pretty good headspace for the most part.
How's the
The
weather been, and
weather
how's that
has
correlating to your
been
headspace?
pretty grim. It's very grey today. Actually, I say that's not true at all. The last few days have been sunny, blue skies, very cold, but sunny. And I felt great for the most part. Now it's grey today. I feel a bit tired. I don't feel great, but I don't feel terrible. I went to the gym earlier and I think going to the gym really helps. And I need to make sure I keep that going because I didn't feel like going to the gym today, of course, when it's grey and cold. And it's going to start raining very soon over the next couple of months. I need to make sure I keep that up. And I think that's partly, as we discussed with Adam, I'm paying £150 a month for this personal trainer and this nutritionist. And I feel like that is the motivation or one of the big motivators to go to the gym. So I think it's important that I keep that going throughout the winter. The one thing on that, though, which is I'd say probably the big negative right now, is the diet. And I've lost a good amount of weight in the first week. I lose weight very quickly. I don't really understand how it happens, but I just do. It's always been the way. When I'm heavy, I can take it off quite quickly. Noticeable differences, like he's been getting me to before and after photos or progress photos every week. And literally one weekend, there's a very noticeable difference. So I feel good about that. But I'm feeling like shit pretty much every day at the moment. Like it gets to this time of day, so like 5, 6 p.m. And I start to feel tired. I start to feel like aggy, just kind of not in the headspace. Like I can't think straight. And he hasn't got me on a particularly low calorie plan at the moment. It's still fairly high. But I think I'm so used to snacking throughout the day and eating these huge meals that really overfill me. I think my stomach and my brain are so used to that by now. So now I'm eating normal sized meals like a normal
Right.
human being. It's not satisfied. And I've spoken to a couple of other people who are on a similar plan to me, and they say it just takes a couple of weeks to adjust and for your brain and your stomach and your body to adjust. But I'm finding it really hard. I'm finding it really hard. A couple of days ago, or every day at the moment, pretty much, I'm not eating breakfast. I've never really eaten breakfast. I have a lunch that's usually about 700 calories, and then I don't eat again till dinner. And the dinner is just a bland chicken dish, usually just meat and veg and rice, standard cutting meal. Um, but I just feel so hungry, and I feel like just really stir crazy in my head, and the slightest thing is annoying me, and I don't want to keep going like that. And everyone's telling me, including my PT, that you're going to get used to that. But if this is how it's going to be, I can't continue. I'm going to
Right.
cancel because it's hard. It's really hard. And my goal at the
Yeah.
moment, I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, get down to the goal weight. By then, let's say that's a month, 2 down the line, you've dropped enough weight that you're at your goal at a healthy weight and you look and feel good about yourself. At that point,
Yeah.
you'll know the gym routine. You can start to eat, or you can start to relax a bit more with the
Yeah.
nutrition, because like I'll stick to it for the most part, but I'll eat slightly more, or I'll allow myself to go and have a pizza every now and then and not feel super guilty about it. Whereas
Yeah.
now I'm so early on. I went out for drinks last night and had pizza last night, and I felt so fucking guilty about it. Even though I've been so strict on the plan, I felt so guilty about it just the one time I did it last night. So
Yeah. If you have an eating disorder, maybe just proceed with caution.
I've got to be careful because I've been here before and I don't want this to develop into some kind of an eating disorder, because I think that's the danger with these things. And
Yeah.
that's a scary path. So that's the main detriment in my life at the moment, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. I think balancing, and it's something we had a chat about with Adam too, balancing diet and exercise and figuring out that balance is truly the hardest thing about getting in
Mm,
shape and getting to your weight or goal weight or whatever. And the thing is, if it was easy, everyone would do it. If it was easy, everyone would be in shape and healthy, and we would have no eating disorders, and we would have no body dysmorphia and like no issues at all. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And that's the reason that so many people like are either not in the shape they want to be in, or If they are, it might be in a really unhealthy way. So it's finding that balance, and finding that balance is not something that you're like, you find it once and then it's done forever. It's like you continue to find it and you continue to practice it. It's truly a practice in the same way that meditation is a practice, or going to the gym is a practice, or your work is a practice. It's something you have to work at constantly, and you're finding a balance that works for you. I will say, like, logistically, I think there are tools and ways that you could, I'm sure your trainer is giving you like all of the macros about how much fat and protein and carbs to get and all of that. But like, I would even talk to him about it, because he is your trainer and you're telling him, and if he's saying you just get used to it, okay. But I would even ask him, like, is there a way I can increase like my protein and or fat content so I feel fuller through the day, so it's not so, or could I add in a snack or add in a protein bar or something to like take the edge off, because like I do feel like I'm getting snippy? Or does it look like, are you hydrating enough? Are you drinking enough water to mix with
Yeah.
everything? Because maybe it's a matter of you're not hydrating enough.
Well, that's an interesting point, because part of the diet, or part of the deal with him, is drinking 4 liters of water every day. And I feel like for the most part, I am getting that. I am getting enough water. Um, but there are occasions where I'm not. And so I went out last night with two of my friends who are the reason that I'm on this plan at the moment. So they are with
Mhm.
Guy. One of them in particular has seen massive results. He looks incredible. He's showing me his photos. Another one of our friends who wasn't there last night was also with the same PT, and he was amazing. But one of the guys last night was saying that if you start to feel hungry, he said it's a very normal thing, just drink a shitload of water. He said a lot of the time, and I know this already, that sometimes dehydration is confused for hunger because it's this similar part of our brain. And so if you're feeling really hungry and sort of aggy as a result of the hunger, hangry, drink a shitload of water and it will negate the hunger. You'll feel so much better, or you feel full. Um, and drinking water is healthy and good for you as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something to consider, is potential dehydration, or ensure that I'm hydrated at least, so that I don't, maybe that's going to stop me from getting a little bit fragile.
Yeah. Like, maybe just try drinking water when you're feeling super hungry again. And I know that can be triggering for somebody who is experiencing an eating disorder, but maybe if you are hungry, ask yourself, am I hydrated enough? Am I having enough water? Because hydrate or dihydrate. Cheers to the health of it. Bottoms up sploosh.
Exactly. So, topic of eating disorders, it's not an eating disorder, but it's something that I've probably spoken to you about before, that with me, it's all or nothing when it comes to health. I'm either eating like shit, never going to the gym, never going for runs, having KFC almost every fucking day, kebabs, curries, you name it, any shit food, but no
Yeah.
working out. It's either that, or I'm working out 5 times a week. I'm on a calorie deficit, a massive calorie deficit, trying to lose the weight that I've put on because of that shitty diet. There's no in between. And I feel like with this personal trainer, that line is going to become even more fixed. There's going to be absolutely no room for a middleman there, because the personal trainer is pushing me to lose weight and to eat in a certain way. So I'm on that polarizing side of the spectrum again. And so I'm just thinking, is that a healthy thing? And maybe I stick with this PT until I've built the habit, until I'm in the habit and I am working out regularly, eating healthily. But I think at the moment, as I say, I'm paying £150 a month. And so we went out with another one of our friends last night who's with the guy, and he's been with him for about 3 months, and he's seen zero results. And last night he had a full-size pizza, he had a tiramisu, he had a bottle of wine, he had drink after drink at the barwoods. And our friend was saying to him, "What are you doing? You're spending £150 a month on this guy, and you're flushing it down the drain. Like, you're not staying disciplined. You have to stay disciplined. You're not going to see the results. You're wasting your money." And I think that's what I'm
Yeah.
terrified of doing. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my money. I want
Mm.
to make sure that I make this work while I'm paying that kind of money. And then the concern is, if I stop, will I keep this going? But I think I keep it going for at least maybe 3 months until Christmas. And then I stop, maybe we'll see where I am, but I stop and see, okay, this is where we are. I've built the habit. I love going to the gym. It's part of my routine now for the last 3 months. I'm used to eating healthily. I'm allowed to have shit food every now and then and feel okay about it. There's got to be a balance. And it's something I've always found so hard. It's not an eating disorder, but it almost feels like one because
Yeah.
it's
You go
so
to extremes.
polarizing. Exactly.
Yeah. And we've seen it when we started this podcast. You were honestly, if you go back and listen to every episode, if you were to go back and binge all of our episodes, you would see you were on stable, like working out every day, eating super healthy, and then you just eat like shit and then not working out. And you go through these waves where you're on it or you're
Yeah.
not on it. It's like 100 or
I saw a
0.
clip from one of our episodes not even that long ago. I think it wasn't that long ago at all. And I sat there and watched the clip and I was like, holy fuck, I was enormous. I was actually like not fat, but I was chubby. I was not looking good. Like my face was puffy. I was not in a
Yeah.
good. It was at a time when I gone months without a haircut as well. So I looked awful. I looked completely depressed. It was probably around the winter time, like around sort of February this year. But yeah, it's crazy to think that's one version of me, and then you look at me a few months later, and I've lost that weight because I'm so strict with these diets and working out.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be for you finding the balance between maybe not 0, maybe not 100, but what does 75 look like? What does 60 look
Well,
like? What does,
exactly. I think
yeah,
that's the right approach. Is like at the moment, I'm so strict on the diet. I'm in a massive calorie deficit to try and lose this weight. I think what the future looks like is once I've lost the amount of weight that I want to, I need to take a step back and go, okay, I'm working out 5 times a week. I feel good. I feel strong. I'm putting in the work to burn the calories. I'm allowed to eat the calories here and there. If I want to go out for a pizza with some friends or for some drinks with some friends, I shouldn't feel guilty about it. Um, I think that's the balance I have to find, and it's just a mentality shift. It's something that I've always struggled with, but I have to get there because it's not healthy.
yeah, exactly. I wonder how you can find that balance. And I think especially with health, it's very difficult to find it. And it's something that, again, if it was easy, everyone would do it. I don't know if and it's so unique and so individual to everybody. Things that work for you are not going to work for me. Things that work for me are not going to work for our
No,
friends. It's so individual. It's so unique to everybody. And it's a constant practice. So I think just like what I would do is I would be present with what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And just honestly, I would keep a journal. I would keep a journal of what do you do when your body feels its best? What are you doing for it? And what feels, even if you are like at 100 and you are going to the gym and eating super clean, what parts of that are really difficult and really
mm,
tough for you? And I would just be present with it and take notes almost, because I think over time you could probably gauge like where you could find that balance as well.
I think keeping some sort of a food and exercise or just a food diary, and we've spoken about doing something like that before when I was trying to stop eating badly. Um, Keeping some sort of a food diary to log what I'm eating and how I'm feeling when I'm eating that way. So I could start now and say, right now in this moment, I've eaten this today and I feel really sluggish. I feel tired. I'm probably going to take a nap after this call. My brain doesn't feel like it's functioning properly. Write these feelings down alongside what I've eaten for the day. And then as my
Yeah,
diet shifts, I can also do the same thing and see, okay, well, this clearly works best for me, and I may put on a slight bit of weight, or I don't know. Basically, find the perfect balance where I'm not going to be putting on weight. I'm going to be staying fit, staying healthy, while also keeping my brain happy.
completely. And I wouldn't even just do food. I would do
Mm,
workouts too, and I would also do other things related to your health, if that looks like meditation, or if that looks like, what are you doing your daily steps? Like, you're doing 10,000 steps a day for a while. Are you doing those? How much sunshine are you getting? Have you been hydrating? Are you having sex? Good stuff.
mm,
Like, just body and health in general. I would not even just look at food, because I think health is more well-rounded than just diet, truthfully.
No, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think just an overall journal related to mood and what could impact that. I think it's a really good idea. So I'll start that from tomorrow or today. Maybe from today. Yeah.
Today. Why not? Start it. And that way you can be present and be like, what works, what doesn't work. And then as you need to go back and find a balance, you can be like, you can literally go back and see, oh, this worked well, this didn't work well, this was too difficult for me to maintain in a sustainable way, this was super easy for me to implement. And you could just chart it and then maybe find the balance that way. Like, you'll have the data, you'll have the actual data to pull from.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like your thinking as always. And yeah, and I'll give it a go. I'll start today.
Okay, perfect. Oh my, what do you know? Still, we talked like 3 days ago and we still can talk for an hour.
Here we are.
How?
Here we are. Should we
Cool.
record tomorrow?
Here we are. Yeah, why not? I have to figure out this fucking calendar thing. I don't know why I'm challenged, like what's happening with it, but there's no way that
No, I don't
that's
understand.
possible. My bet is that because I have like blocks for weeks at a time for like my traveling, I'm wondering if it's like seeing that as like
I
events.
see. Okay. Possibly.
Like, I wonder if it's did that.
Well,
I need
have
to
a
look
look and
and
let me
see.
know.
Yeah, because I'm like, there's no way we can go a month without
No, no, no,
recording. That
no,
would
no.
not be okay. So plus we're paying for the link, so I don't want to just text you regularly. I really like just being
It's
able to
nice.
schedule
Yeah.
with you.
It's a good idea. I mean, that's how we
Yeah.
did the last two that we've recorded one-to-one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I just scheduled it in, and honestly, it's great because we don't. I mean, it eliminates like that back and forth of like, when are you free? When are you free? I don't know. Does this work? What's this time? And it's efficient.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good idea.
I love it. I love it. And then also, dude, get on the social. What's happening?
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
send you a message about it because do you remember we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago? I think just before you.
It was before
Well,
Israel.
yeah, so just before Israel, I was telling you that the AI tool is not working for me, and you were going to have a look at it because my problem then
I did look at it. It was working fine.
Okay, maybe I need to try again because I tried over the course
Try
of a couple
again
of
or
weeks.
message customer service or something.
Yeah, I think I'll do that because the other thing is what I was doing before and editing it manually. For some reason, Instagram wasn't letting me format it. Like, it wasn't working so that it would fit to the format of the reels. So we kind of I have to figure something out. But I think I came across
figure something out.
that bridge and I just stalled, just didn't cross it because I picked up a bit of momentum and then it all went to shit when there was a bit of a roadblock. So I'll look into it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll look into the calendar. You look into the social and we'll get into it. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you next week on Mastermind Moments. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we love you guys, and we'll catch you guys next
Bye.
week. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.